Hello and welcome to Courageous Doctors, the new show for you and your patient. On this show, we're going to look at Obamacare updates, other healthcare news, and health and safety tips. So now let's begin. The Congressional Quarterly said that Congress cut the extra pay given to take care of Medicaid patients for doctors with last year's congressional budget. The problem is that with 400,000 new Medicaid patients, we think there may be a shortage of doctors now to see them. The Star-Ledger said, according to the Census Bureau, 1 out of 5 children were on food stamps in 2014. Nationwide, over 46 million people use food stamps. USA Today says that the Affordable Care Act saw over 11 million people sign up now for 2015. A Gallup poll shows that the uninsurance rate is now 13.8%, down from 17.3%. That's a good thing. The New York Times says that buyers of exchange insurance should look at higher out-of-pocket pay and not just at the premium cost. Congressional Quarterly says that drugs for complex diseases like multiple sclerosis and cancer may now cost more on insurance plans, so beware. Star-Ledger warns that over 200,000 in New Jersey will not be able to afford their exchange plan without the federal subsidy. This is huge. This past week, the Supreme Court heard testimony on the legality of federally run exchanges giving subsidies here in New Jersey and throughout the country when the states, like New Jersey, chose not to run their own exchange. After the news show, I'll have a little more about to say on this later on. In Forbes, we see that hospitals are seeing profits rise due to more patients insured on the exchanges. So you can see there's a balance both ways. Now let's move on to other healthcare news. The New Jersey Department of Health warns of a certain kind of flu causing a mumps-like or parotitis illness. Flu shots this year were only 15% effective, according to the CDC. And this, of course, we know is because they had the wrong strain. Ebola cases are decreasing, and measles, unfortunately, is on the rise after a breakout in California's Disneyland a couple of months ago. Another outbreak was seen in a Chicago daycare, and we had one baby treated here in Jersey City. The New Jersey Department of Health is urging to vaccinate all children not already covered, and anyone with a high fever and a rash should seek immediate care. Unvaccinated contacts of measles will be quarantined by public health for 21 days. President Obama is funding research into antibiotic resistance and for cancer, diabetes, and brain mapping. Dietary guidelines from the Dietary Guideline Advisory Committee of the Health and Human Service and the United States Dietary Committee has relaxed its restrictions on cholesterol, but is increasing its restrictions on sugars to less than 10% of caloric intake. And it's also saying that it's okay to drink 4 cups of coffee a day. Good for your coffee drinkers. The Star-Ledger is reporting that the Institute of Medicine is saying that we should now put back potatoes into government food programs because potatoes are good for us.
Hi, I'm Ingrid Burke.
And I'm Gina Unger.
Gina has known Dr. Berry in a professional and personal capacity for many years, and we are thrilled to be in his building. We are psychotherapists and we offer mental health counseling for ages 12 and up. We do individual, couples, and family counseling. We're also excited to say that we have groups that we have for teenage boys and girls for social skills, anger management, and self-esteem building. If you need to reach us,
check us out at lifeworksnj.com.
Our phone numbers are also listed on that website if you'd like to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marla Gruber, holistic health coach, smile expert, founder of the WIN program for children, a yogi trainee, and a mom to 2 teenage children. I'm excited to introduce into Dr. Barry's office my services of increasing your child's positive energy. My goal is to get the body comfortable so it can function at its full potential, enabling them to smile from the inside out daily. I will help both you and your child understand that being healthy is not just an absence of disease, it's having vitality. I believe that life is a journey, not a destination. I will help you enjoy the process of guiding your child to living a better quality of life and being the best that they can be. I look forward to helping you. Thank you for listening and keep smiling.
Let's now move on to health and safety tips. NBC News has cited 15 chemicals causing early menopause by 2 to 4 years. They are in plastics, household items, pharmaceuticals, lotions, perfumes, makeup, nail polish, liquid soap, and hairspray, and include PCBs, which are polychlorinated biphenyls, pesticides, and phthalates. So be on the lookout for these products. New York Times says that a preservative used in personal care products is linked to allergic reactions. It's called methyl isothiazolinone, if you see it on the product. New York Times also says that the FDA announced the death from hospitals using a contaminated IV saline solution. A massive recall occurred and multiple states were involved. The Hill says that new dietary guidelines are proposed for daycare by the United States Dietary Allowance, and it cuts out fried foods, and it also limits juice intake. Wall Street Journal says that the same committee has increased standards to reduce disease-causing bacteria in turkey and chicken. Star Ledger has listed emergency preparations, and you'll be interested to see, you can get some of these yourself. Includes a water for a 3-day supply or a gallon per person per day, batteries, medicines, 7-day supply, battery-powered radio, keeping blankets, snacks, and water in your car, and keeping extra money at home. Associated Press has said that the healthcare industry is vulnerable to cyber attacks, and we know recently Anthem was breached and millions were involved, and so there's I think a strong national encouragement to encrypt this information. And now I'd like to have a short editorial comment. We got a lot of opinions in asking about the recent Supreme Court hearings on the legitimacy of the federal government being able to run exchanges in states and for the IRS to give tax breaks in order to help people buy insurance on these exchanges. Basically, what happened was in 2010, after Obamacare became law, there was an attempt on the part of Congress to try to repeal it. This went on, I think there were 50 votes over the years. In 2012, the Supreme Court had a hearing as to whether Obamacare was illegal based on the anti-commerce rule, which means you can't force people across state lines to sell things. The government can't make you do that. The Supreme Court said it's not legal under the Commerce Clause, but it is legal as a taxable law. So it basically became a tax law, and that's where we are now in 2015, because basically what happened is you had to wait until somebody actually was penalized after a year and a half for not buying the insurance, so that you could bring a case to court and see if it really holds up under a tax law. That's why it took so long for this second Supreme Court test. Basically, what it's saying is in a certain clause, 1 out of 1,000 pages that refers to the tax part of the law, it's the wording that the Supreme Court was referring to was, it said the states shall, institute these exchanges, but it also went on to say, to refer to another part that said that the federal government can basically come in and set up exchanges in those states that don't want to do it for themselves, because everybody in America should be entitled to this insurance. So the argument is did it really mean only a state could set up exchanges, and therefore the IRS cannot give a tax break to a state in which the federal government runs the exchange, or is it really that everybody can get the help? And that's where the argument is, and we probably won't hear for a few months after today's broadcast as to what they decide. It's interesting if you look at the response of the states themselves. Initially, with the challenge in 2012 to the Commerce Clause, well, first, as you know, most states are not on the exchanges. The federal government runs their exchanges. There's only like 12 or 13 or so that are on the exchanges. So, in the Commerce Clause, the majority of those other states signed on as to say it was illegal, we don't want it, you can't force us to buy the insurance. However, now, 2 years later, when we're already 5 years into the whole country being on Obamacare, it's set up, the insurance companies, hospitals, doctors, everybody is into it. Whether they like it or not, they've completely changed their way of doing business to be into it. And now these states are seeing that there's really no alternative, so if their own constituents can't get Obamacare because they can't get the tax break to buy it, there's going to be a lot of trouble. So only a few states signed on. Most of the states did not sign on to this law case. So from the state's point of view, you know, maybe they would like to see it upheld as law. And from Congress's point of view, they're no longer outwardly contesting Obamacare with voting against it like they did in the minority, the Republicans when they were in the minority. Now the Republicans control both houses. They're basically waiting to see what this law case shows with the Supreme Court. But they know they're going to have to try to find a way to stop this tremendous problem if the whole country's on Obamacare of saving the country from a recession and a downward spiral where insurance companies will go broke, hospitals will go broke, doctors and healthcare industry, because everything's set around Obamacare. If you suddenly make it illegal, you leave a huge vacuum. Millions of people have no insurance, and healthcare was the strongest part of our economy. It'll put us into a recession. So Congress is kind of backing off and letting Supreme Court take the heat on this. So I think that it remains, to be seen what's going to happen. I hope that whatever the Supreme Court rules, I hope that if it rules against Obamacare, that Congress will act and do something to keep us from going into a recession. And of course, if it maintains the law, I hope Congress will continue to still work with the president to try to improve parts of the law which might be causing trouble. That's my opinion. We look forward to hearing your responses, and as always, look forward to seeing you again next month. Take care.
Hi, I'm Randy Lupo, host of The Randy Lupo Show. Hi, I'm Randy Lupo, host of The Randy Lupo Show on Broadband Box Office. Wait, is that a tongue twister or an alliteration? Come meet my favorite people, comedians, actors, writers, spiritual people.
I'm Lou Cicenia.
And I am Daisy. And check us out at the Greater Jersey Buzz.
At broadbandboxoffice.com. Broadbandboxoffice.com. Remember that. The finest talent in the world are on these microphones every month. I kid you not.
Yes, we will have a variety of different guests ranging from comedians, entertainers, singers, politicians, You name it, we're going to bring it to you with light conversation, a lot of information, but most of all, a lot of fun. Check us out at the Greater Jersey Buzz.
And you'll see Daisy too.
And you'll see Lou.